Rosaline Krushka Löwenfelter was originally a young maiden from Mondstadt. She found herself enchanted and in love with the knight, Rostam. However, calamity would befall Mondstadt, and she would find herself losing Rostam. When she returned from her studies, she became so angry that she became a spirit of hellish fire. However, a member from the Fatui came and gave her a body once more. Now, under the codename La Signora, she became the 8th of the 11 Fatui Harbingers. Hello everyone, this is David Leibowitz with Flash POV Game Philosophy. I like to talk about philosophy and video games and like breaking down video game lyrics, and a few weeks ago was able to finally beat Signora in Genshin Impact. So, let's break down a lot of new stuff that we haven't talked about. We talked about Nietzsche a lot. We haven't talked about early Nietzsche, which blends into Schopenhauer. And the more so when he wasn't an optimist. We also haven't talked about that much about the Bible, so the Book of Ecclesiastes comes in, and a little bit of Dostoyevsky comes in too. So I hope you're excited to go in these new territories, because of course this is a bop. Well, it's more the second theme, but without further ado, Chrysalis, Suspirii, and then Saltatio, Favillae from Genshin Impact. We hear definitely the sounds of ice at first. Nice little playful dance. It's building up. And so what we see here is that basically she thinks this builds all is going to build into Saltatio Favillae, but that we see she is basically talking about how in her past she's suffered the tragedy of having lost a lover and feeling like the only way that she found a home was in Shnezaya, was being with the Fatui. And therefore, because of that, her attitude towards the Fatui is a lot more irreverent than what you think. She serves her leader, but she serves it for a very selfish and vain goal of just self-preservation in the nihilism of her existence. Truth is blind. This is going to go into the blind, foolish. She's basically self-despairing herself. Because this is coming from her point of view, and she clears that she's foolish, she's blind, that she can't fully understand the truth, and these furious that in a way this is sort of her inner heart telling her that she just wants the release. But she really wants the release from this cold body, her heart, her containment that she's put into this icy body. Instead, she really wants to be free and to be herself, but in that freedom, she's still going to be in nihilism, be in commedia dell'arte, theater of the masquerade. The life is a comedy. Life is meaningless. Life is just a show. There's nothing meaningful about it. This is a different kind of playfulness. You can hear the playfulness, the playful hearing notes of a piano or something like it. I think that's high piano. That is basically playing with she's toying with you. But now, obviously, it's showing the scene of when she's in the cocoon and getting ready to free herself. Obviously, the meat is in Saltatio Favillae, so we'll get to there soon. Moth of transformation! I am me now. Ha ha! Oh, you hear the build-up. Oh, the build-up. Oh, 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 oh. Tragedy. I find it interesting that fatwa, because Kaika is blind, because Cecilia actually comes from things like Caecilius, Kaika, that's blind. Fatwa means fool. So the fatui both believe in fate, but they're foolish that they believe in the inevitability of fate. Fatwa. Oh, in Fausti. Ooh, Fausti. Faust. Like the guy that basically, she's very much a Faustian figure right now. She basically is giving her soul to the devil to be able to experience some sort of joy. She's very Signora. I feel like many of these characters are Faustian figures, but definitely Signora is a Faustian figure. Faust who gives himself off to the devil of Mephistopheles. So clearly, fate is, what is fate? Furious. Fate is oh, theater. Oh, commedia. Oh, theater. Because life is just theater. Life is tragic. Because this all comes together when we actually get to Saltatio Favillae. But we see here that she basically just thinks that there is no meaning to life. That life on the theater gives our greatest passions, our greatest accomplishments. But theater, for Schopenhauer and early Nietzsche, distills the earliness of art. But that is not exactly what we're getting at here. Even though there is what is outside of this dream is still an illusion. We're in the Matrix, there's no way out. The truth is vain to be found. The cocoon sighs. Chrysalis Suspiria. The cocoon sighs. The outer shell, the mask, because in Commedia dell'arte, they basically just put on ass. So she's just living the inner is the animal, is the fiery moth, the witch. But outside is this cold diplomat. Very, very fitting. Suspirii. All right. Let's stop for now and come back. Hello, everyone. We're back now for where your volley truly came for. I'm putting in timestamps so you can just see this through, and if you want to just go right to Saltatio Favillae while you're here, let's do this. Woo! Let's do this. Nay, embers, I rise from the anger. Behold, the heat on the stage shall I arise. Alright. So basically what's going on is we have the figures, is that on the stage shall I arise. How I can connect this properly to Nietzsche, specifically the Birth of Tragedy, which connects to Schopenhauer's The World as Will, World as Will, an idea, is that the stage is, again, the place in which truth is. Truth is found on the stage. Truth is found through art. Art is the thing that distills. And what is the most present in all of life? That is the most central truth? Suffering. Which is a little Buddhist, but not really. It's more dukkha. It's more unease in Buddhism. So, but that's where Schopenhauer thinks he's taking from. He's thinking he's taking from Buddhism, which is saying that life is suffering, therefore. And life is Maya. Life is Maya, an illusion, is a veil over our existence. So through... Weirdly, as we talked about with Happy Chaos, the way to see through that illusion is through playfulness. But this is a demented sort of playfulness. This is her. She's the Signora. She's the diva. I mean, she's not actually meant to be an opera. The Signora figure is the figure that comes in and is basically tries to woo the man into a corrupt means for selfish means, which is what she's basically doing. She's coming in to woo, you could say, the Raiden Shogun for selfish means. She puts her figure her goal pretty well, but sorrow. This vision. What is a vision? A vision is a gift from God. The vision is vacant. This is partially saying also that she has no vision. She actually has powers from her own. She does not have a vision. She just is somehow burning in flame from her heart from what has happened to her. Sort of a curse, you could say. And then granted powers of ice. But the fire is not a vision. But that the visions, these sort of powers given by God, this alchemical means that allows us to be closer to God. Well, if we take this both in Nietzsche's sense, in which trying to understand the powers of rationally God is futile, we also can see this from the Book of Ecclesiastes that says exactly the same thing, that trying to understand the truth and wisdom is meaningless, and that it's folly, it's vain, it's nothing. There is no truth. Trying to understand the higher things of God is nothing. So we see that paired with this, that life is suffering, life is just a show. And in that show, she has become a moth of flame. She has gone closer to her animality. But it's a very selfish, burning animality. You can also see that the fire is, the fiery moth is sort of the hellishness that under the beautiful veil of life, under the icy, cold, proper veil of life, is this witch, is this dark truth. But what is the moth? It's also similar to the butterfly, the dream, that life is, that we're living just in a dream. And Nietzsche talks about this, and Schopenhauer alludes to this as well, about life just being that, we just live our lives in a dream. And the stage is truly, in a sense, it's all just a show. Nothing actually matters. We're all characters. But she now, in all these inner passions have finally come out, because heart is cold as ash. Now she's burning. She's fiery. This is the Dionysian. This is the emotional. This is the satyr play coming out. This is her finally feeling. But even when we finally feel, there's still nothing. The fiery guitar that shows true emotion. That's why the guitar is being used. We see right here, I'm a moth of fire. I have now transformed into my true self. I have become wrath. I've become the fiery wrath. I've become the Mephistophelian figure in a way. I've become Mephistopheles. I've become the devil. Or trying to imitate that. Because all we can do, again, is truly try to imitate the divine. And so in trying to imitate, though this is her, this is not an imitation. This is her true form. That in this, the vanity, meaninglessness is suffering itself is meaninglessness, because even though all life is just suffering, there's simply meaninglessness in that suffering, because again, life, tragedy, comedy, it doesn't matter. And the vanity in suffering, this also refers a little bit to Dostoyevsky's Heroes. I have not read Dostoyevsky, I just read something about it. I really need to read Dostoyevsky, but that the heroes of Dostoyevsky show these vain, corrupt ideas of people trying to win power and eventually have some sort of tragic end. And with this, we see that. She's trying to gain power, trying to ease up in her horrible situation. But her vanity, the idea that she thought she could gain power, but she knows. In a sense, we could see that all this, that there's a part of her that just knows that it's over. Even though she thinks that she would obviously win. But there's a part of her inner voice, sort of these deep sides, two sides to her right now that we're seeing in this music. And the vanity and suffering. There's vanity in trying to trying to attain this vision. That everything that she's done, because again, she took Venti's vision. She was the one responsible for taking Venti and Dongli's visions. I mean, Gnosis. So trying to take that this whole quest for knowledge is meaninglessness. This is exactly it. And all this quest of knowledge brings to us is suffering. Fake and foolish. This is the sense, that she's basically lived, that all she sees is her life is as on the stage, and we see that a comedian. Oh, I'm a comedian. I am just making comedy. Everything is foolishness. Everything is my play. This is her sort of now asserting, no, there's more sadness in the rest of this now. Like, no, on the stage I shall rise. Her double asserting that she will be that comedian. She will make a play. She will enjoy the last moments of her life and finally be herself in this tragedy where she wasn't able to be herself for a long time. So that's why this is brilliant. Yupeng Shun, amazing. I feel like also Behold the Heat relates to sort of that her true form is this fire, this Mephistophelian flames, that in her true self is just, she's sort of feeling the fires of hell right now because she is Prometheus. Prometheus is this figure that attempted to give fire people. But through taking fire from the gods, women was created. And when women was created, the advances upon the woman, with the Signora as that corrupted woman, gives men into sin. So sort of her idea as being vengefully reflecting upon, was she just an object to her lover? No, but sort of this paranoia and sinuous distrust of everything, of all life, because of this Promethean fate they're trying to do by taking this epic knowledge from the gods. Everything is meaninglessness. Well, this was beautiful. Yupeng Shun, thank you for your service. We'll see you on another side. I'm sure the new people are doing great. I think if the Fontaine people are doing new stuff, and they're doing great stuff. But without further ado, it's been David Leibowitz with Philosophy of Video Game Philosophy. Peace.